Hi, welcome back to a video not made 10 months after the last one. So far, the year seems horrible. The big bad virus locked us down. Trump is president for 4 years and most likely will be for the next 4. And 5G towers are burning worldwide. Because of the big bad, everyone is at home a lot more than usual. Many people get bored. Their home and personal rooms can get boring after a pretty short time, especially if you cannot even leave it. So I thought, why not use the technology we have to advance and expand your small, dull, real space? Virtual reality is becoming more and more popular in recent years. Even though the current state of it is having a huge tape recorder strapped on your head, always attached to a cable on a really powerful PC that costs your house. Or you get the Oculus Quest, which is pretty much its own thing, but the graphics are highly reduced and not all games are available for it. Then there's also augmented reality and mixed reality, which takes the real world and adds virtual things to it, but that's not what this video is about, so playing virtual reality is fun. You can slice Minecraft knockoff cubes in half, experience what it feels like to be Gordon Freeman, be a budget Spider-Man, experience the greatest, most stunning areas of the world, disarm a bomb, save people's virtual lives, take people's virtual lives, or survive in apocalyptic environments. Or you simulate a boring job, or look at some hill. That works too. But all these options have and come with one fundamental problem. They are not real. Well, at least not real enough. Look, just let me make my point. Everything around you is too simulated and virtual. This becomes a problem once you want to interact with the virtual world physically. Because it doesn't work. The VR worlds never line up with a real physical room. I mean, they may do on random occasions where specific virtual objects just happens to line up with an item in your actual room. But this is not intentional, so it doesn't count. Now think about the possibilities if the virtual world does line up with a real room. You can add anything that you could never afford before, like more monitors, a TV screen, or friends. I have 2 very nice posters, there's a shelf with my VR stuff, my balcony with an outside view which, again, you could easily change and enhance with a virtual room. You can see my main desk with a very not fancy PC, 2 monitors. Oh, have I told you about my DeLorean models already? Here's a NAS, there are 2 more screens, another window, there's my ceiling lamp. Yeah, as you can see, my real room is quite lame. So let's 3D model it and enhance it. Oh, look, a vast city right outside my balcony. My ground is an infinite underwater world. My two posters suddenly are frozen pieces of time like in Doctor Who, and I got 6 monitors! A massive flat screen on the wall that I always wanted. Oh, and it's also all clean! Much more modern furniture. I think and hope you are getting the idea here. You can very easily convert your lame ass room into a super exciting area that no one would want to leave anymore. Now I can hear some of you say, but I don't know how to 3D model my whole room. And that is a valid argument. A lot of you don't know how to 3D model the whole room in all its detail. But who said you need all its detail anyway? To tell the truth, the original reason I created my room down to the centimeter is so that I can play around with furniture, wall paints, new furniture and so on to see how it would look realistically before having to buy furniture and decorations and then seeing, oh shit. Then I got the idea to use that in VR, which quickly turned into the idea you see right here. And you may even have picked up on a small detail here. To make the whole room enhancement experience work, you do not need a fully detailed recreation of your room. I mean, the more details the better, but what you essentially need is a basic shape of your real space to line up with things like walls, desks, shelves, you know, the essential furniture, the stuff that you can walk against. All these thoughts and ideas might be possible today already, and they are fun and all, but what if we take this further? What if we take this into a bigger scale, a more usable scale for more people, maybe even everyone? An infinite universe in which we can create the ultimate utopia. For that, we just need everyone to be able to put their room into VR. And before anyone says, I don't even know how to 3D model a box, don't worry, you can take pictures. Now, this might sound weird. Make a 3D model out of your entire room with pictures? What is this magic? Well, don't worry, I got a friend of mine, Lucas, who can explain this in about 32 seconds.
So to 3D scan our room, we're going to be using a technique known as photogrammetry. So this is how it works. First, we take hundreds, and I mean hundreds of photos from every single angle of whatever it is we're trying to scan. Then, we grab all those photos and we throw them into photogrammetry software that will use the images to make a 3D reconstruction of our objects. And if you do this right, you can make some of the best looking 3D models on the whole goddamn internet. I mean, look at this. Look at the shit people are making with photogrammetry. I mean, oh my god.
So if you can't 3D model, you can try to photo scan your room to take it into VR. Or, if you have an Xbox Kinect lying around, you can use its depth sensor to create rough or more detailed models in a few seconds instead of hours with photogrammetry. Because, you know, a depth sensor knows how big everything is right away instead of guessing it from images, so do that if you can. Remember like 2 minutes ago when I said that we could create the ultimate infinite utopia? If your current imagination of VR is to be in a room that fits your real space and that's it, plus some teleportation movement, oh boy, am I about to blow your mind. It's not like photogrammetry may already be too much for you. I'm just gonna show you even more fancy stuff that today's technology brings us. So when you have a room and a second room next to that, both rooms take up the space of these two rooms. Two physical things can't be within the same location, ever. It is physically impossible that two atoms, two objects or two anythings are at the exact same location. That counts for real life. You know the theme of this video, nothing matters in virtual reality. To expand the space in virtual reality, you can use a few different methods. Use fake in-game walking like teleportation or locomotion, often inducing motion sickness. That's the most used, most straightforward approach. Use elevators that go up and down through building stories, so keeping the orientation the same so you can move through an infinite amount of space that you actually walk through, or you go beyond. Non-Euclidean distances. What sounds very complicated and scientific-like is very complex and scientific-like. But we sure can create some framework to use this at some point easily. Non-Euclidean distances are what is not possible within the real world in any way whatsoever. It is to put two or more rooms into the same space, making things bigger on the inside, making tunnels shorter than they really are, and just anything that doesn't make sense. If you have never heard about non-Euclidean, neither have I. All I saw and know about it is that it lets you put areas and spaces into the same space as other spaces already space themselves. Cold Parade made a few fantastic videos about this. You can have the one space of your actual room inside VR, but that space is copied, placed into the same location several times, separated by some doors or whatever. With this, you can literally create an infinite walking space in your room, as you can interact fully with a physical area, and to go into the next room with other stuff inside, you can just walk around your space, going corners and not run into walls. Walk back and you come back into the previous room. You can do this as often as you want, or until your VR headset cable gets tangled up so much that it snaps off. Ideas like these could literally change the world. And yes, I know this is all mostly just theoretically at the moment, but it can be made accessible to everyone. Humans have always adapted to things. We could quickly adapt and get used to virtual reality. Just imagine everyone having this. A small real-world space and an infinite virtual reality where they can interact with people, play games, relax, anything is possible there. Virtual reality is immersive already. Often people straight up forget they are in VR and run into their TV. If you can improve the experience some more, for example by not having a huge heavy box on your face, improving graphics or even haptic gloves and suits like in Ready Player One, this could very well be an everyday experience for everyone. Plus, with Oculus hand tracking, you can mostly ignore controllers completely. So the only thing you need are the glasses. The one case in which you would need a controller is for locomotion movement, since you must press a button to move around in VR, and we know how that ends a lot of times. Now this went a bit off topic. The original theme was a recreation of your room in VR, and it turned into a futuristic plan to change everyone's lives. Well, I can go with that. I am more than certain someone will make all these ideas reality at some point. Ready Player One can become reality. It probably won't be me who will create such a huge virtual environment, but someone else will definitely make it, sooner or later. And with that, we have it. You know how photogrammetry and non-Euclidean rendering works in all its detail, with a few minor exceptions. So now you can go ahead and create your very own room scan, put it into VR, send it to the NSA, anything you want. For my part, I will put a version of this as my VR home room. Maybe an enhanced version, who knows. Have a nice day, night, evening, morning, noon, week. Join my Discord where I announce live streams and work in progress. Important, link in the description, just join. Is this really the outro now? It seems like it is. Bye.
It's expected that you dance. Dance to the beat. Move your hover wings. When the beat is on, it's expected that you dance.
Radiance.
Before we start, DJ Bud, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, it's always a pleasure having you in the studio. You're such a